if you ask me, things I know definitely is going to be in this upcoming release is, hi guys, it's Kobe here, and in today's video we are going to talk about C4D S26. So if you follow Amazon over the years, in R21 they actually introduced a subscription model, which the following year, a couple of months later, they introduced S22, which was a subscription based release. Right, since then every April they've been releasing a new subscription version, right? So we expect that this April they are going to release a new version, which is going to be the S26. And if you check, actually they usually announce it on during their event. And if you check on their YouTube page in the 3D motion show, you can see there is a show which is set to happen on the 24th of April, right? So definitely they are going to announce for the S26. So as usual, if there is going to be a release, interested people and users of Cinema 4D definitely want to know what's going to come and the things that they wish for and all that. So people always have their wish and things that they want to happen, right? But if you know Maxon, they are very secretive when it comes to their release and the features that's coming up in their next software or their next application, right? So they are very, very secretive, and stuff like this barely comes out. But this time there's a bit of rumors going around which I saw in the forum, and it's talking about Cinema 4D S26 is going to be a great release. For me, Cinema 4D R20 was a great release with the introduction of fields and other interesting stuff. Like I think in R21 they introduced the subscription model and couple of new tools. R22, a bit of improvement and stuff also were in there. R23, that's where they actually brought the scene notes, which they called it a neutron by then. And later R24, they also brought in like the placement tools and online content browser and stuff like that. R25 today, actually what they actually did is that they introduced the capsule and also completely changed the interface, right? And everything was changed. But personally, among all of these, the R20 actually was my favorite, and I actually loved R20 a lot. So talking about this one being great, I'm actually expecting what will happen. But then being great is very relative, right? I'm talking about R20 being my favorite. Someone probably say R21 was their greatest one because probably it had in things that they probably love. So from probably a modeling perspective, someone would like improvements in modeling stuff. From an animation perspective, someone would probably like animation stuff. So to them, if there is improvement in animation stuff, they probably see that one as great. So all of those things are quite relative depending on where you are coming from, right? But in general, they're saying it's going to be great. So according to the info, it says like, it wasn't very specific, but it says there are a couple of new implementations, a couple of overhauls and stuff, dozen of new features and also tools, and quite a lot of things have been implemented. So it looks like it's going to be a powerful great release. Well, we wish to see, because just like any other software or any of recently, if something is about to happen, there's a lot of talk about what's going to be in there, and it gets there and probably might not be in. But then let's see how it goes out and how things happens in the release in R24 and R20 S26 actually on the 24th of April. But personally, if you ask me, things I know definitely is going to be in this upcoming release is one, definitely there's going to be updates or improvements in the new user interface, which was just introduced in the last version. So definitely there's going to be new stuff or new ways of working and all of those things, new implementation. And there's actually this picture or this GIF on social media which shows that there are a lot of icons that Smart4D left out in the new user interface. So if you go back to the old one, like let's say R24 and the previous ones, some of the tools, their icons were like doesn't exist in the R25, right? So it lacks those icons. So definitely I'm sure all those things will be improved. Probably this wouldn't be a feature, but it's something that they'll be working on. So definitely, so I know they'll be working on the new user interface to make it more intuitive and more user friendly for people to use. Another thing is, I know Cinema 4D definitely, as usual, is going to focus on like adding a bit of things to improve workflows and stuff. So definitely they are going to implement a couple of things to improve workflow, which definitely they usually do all the time. And this being a new user interface, I mean, they will add another interesting ways or to do things that will make work even fun and more lovely to do. Another thing I'm also expecting is there is definitely going to probably be a couple of modeling improvements. I mean, if you've seen from Cinema 4D's like recent times, they can see they are focusing a bit more on modeling, like a little bit of modeling and making modeling a bit interesting. And with their recent purchase of ZBrush, who knows, maybe there's been a couple of tips that they probably have gotten from this ZBrush team, which probably they can implement and in their modeling workflow and stuff. Also, another thing I definitely think they will also touch is a bit of animation, because of recently they've been actually doing stuff with the animation, you know, workflows and stuff. So I'm sure they will definitely also touch on animation a bit, and also rigging, animation and rigging. Let me actually combine the two, animation and rigging. I'm sure Cinema 4D will probably touch something on those two. But one which is definitely certain is the capsules, and Cinema 4D and the capsules and the notes in general. So Cinema 4D introduced the notes in I think it was R23, right? Yeah, they introduced it. I think R23 rather. Yeah, and since then they keep improving it. Like in R24, in S24 they introduced the scene manager, and in R25 they actually introduced the capsules. So definitely in S26, I'm sure they will bring something that will actually encourage the use of notes or even capsules in S26. So definitely there's going to be, those are things I'm probably looking out for. I mean, I'm definitely not looking out for like something like a particle system or something crazy like some powerful rendering system or maybe some UV tools that was going to be. Nah, those ones are probably things we don't know when it's going to happen, but things that are very quite predict, like you are sure it can happen, are the things that you see they are working on. They're like improving it over the years, day by day, and building a new system around. So you can see like the modeling aspect of it, animation aspect of it, user interface, workflows, and now their notes which they've introduced and all of that. So definitely those are the things I definitely or I expect that will be in this upcoming S26 release. But all the talks about it, this release is going to be a great release and all of those things are just rumors, and even the things I actually expect are just my personal view. It don't necessarily mean it's going to be there. I just have some belief that looking at their trajectory, the way they've been doing things, I feel like these things are going to be there. But one thing I probably can say is that don't expect too much. Knowing Maxon, don't expect so many changes or any crazy stuff, so that you don't get a little bit disappointed or anything, because maybe what you expect might not be what you've seen in there. But like, you know, what we definitely know, and it's certain, completely certain, that there's going to be something, either improvement or changes or whatever. There's going to be something. So that one, it gives us, it's better than nothing, right? So that's what you know. But as to whether that thing is going to be great or not great, I mean, we live to see. So let's see how it pans out. I don't know what you think. Give me your feedback, if what you think or what you've heard and what you think should be in there, or what you actually wish should be added in the coming releases and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, and kindly subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.